plug, the fat plug. When you get in the boat, you're gonna plug it in. Okay, then you can turn it on. I always do a sound check. Make sure it's working. If it's not working, tell Felix. You may have to switch Cox boxes, or just maybe the wiring. Again, in the dark, it's pretty hard to see. Just make sure that you use this little part that sticks out. Don't jam it in if it's not going in all the way. Talk to Felix, see if you can get a light. And we'll talk about lights right now, but you plug it in. There's usually a slot in the middle of the footboards. Boom, just put it in there. These also are waterproof. They do not float, obviously. They do not float. You do not take it out unless you are on the dock. Do not put it in unless you are on the dock, and then put it in. Make sure it's in there. They're about $700-800, and you get to buy one.
Ron, one day when we put the boat in the water, the cord that we're supposed to plug into the Cox box went into the water when we flipped the boat. And so Felix said that it's best to clean those off with fresh water before you go plugging them in.
I usually spit in them and then put fresh water in and shake it all out. Yeah.
Spit is the magic out there. Sometimes you'll see it. I mean, I'll pull out the sound cord. If it's not working well, spit into it. And we have special electrolytes in the body that work sometimes. Yeah, so, yeah, he's absolutely right. I mean, salt water corrodes. So actually, when you're going down, look, if you see the cord dragging, wrap it up around the something so it doesn't go in the water when you put the boat in. I mean, that's just good practice not to do that. Okay, lights. Obviously, between now and next spring, you're going to need lights, even if it's just kind of, because Sunday's daylight savings, you lose it, and it'll be lighter when you start out, but by December it gets pretty dark. So there's two boards. You'll see them looking like this. There's a little place to plug in, and again, when you're finished, plug it in. You don't. That's how these things charge. You don't plug it in. You just screwed it for the next person. All those lights get used on a
Nearly
Wednesday,
twice daily.
Yeah, and Saturday definitely. They're all used. So if you don't plug one in, somebody's not going to have a light. That's dangerous. They come in two different colors. This is white, and the other one is, as you see, okay. These are the caps, and they actually turn them on. They say stern about. You know what? It doesn't make one bit of difference because nobody can read it. So it doesn't matter. They're all basically interchangeable. Take it out of the, theoretically, on the right side are the ones that are red and green. The middle one is white, but some people are colorblind and can't tell where it goes. So I always check it, make sure I've got one that I have two different ones. Take it, the tops are in a box next to on the table. You screw it in, and you got to make it tight, turn it on. Are there slots in on the novice boats?
So I think our boats have slots both in the proper bow clip, but also the proper light clip. You know that the number clip is different from the light clip.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, you're about to get that. I think they do.
Okay, so bow this is the bow light. On the port side is red. Green is on the starboard. And you might say, well, what difference does it make? The answer is, for the other coxswains around, it tells them where you are and which side you're on. So if I'm coming up next to you and he says go to the port, I'm looking for your red, okay? The bow clip for your racing number is at the bow, and right in front of the bow seat is usually another, it's just black, and it's a slot that this goes in. Make sure it's down all the way. Okay, you don't want to lose them. These are, I think they're $60 or so. Okay, white always goes in back, and like that. This side goes on. When you're done, make sure you take them off the boat, or take them back to where they live. Take the tops off, throw the tops in the box, plug them in, and make sure the plug goes in, okay? Very important for lights, obviously, at this time of day.
There will be some questions, I think.
Just a mic?
Yeah, are those also the ones you use for the singles?
Okay, you can put them on the bow marker where the racing number goes for the singles. Most of the singles do not have a slot in the stern, and so there are suction cup ones down there that are out in the middle bay right by the door. Okay, you take the suction cup, spit it in, punch it down, make sure the suction cup is flat and the light's pointing out, pointed at you. And you're probably gonna have to use a white one. If there's, for some reason, you forget one of these, there are also colored lights down there. Before you put them on your boat, turn them on. There's a little button to push in the middle. Make sure they work, because a lot of times they don't. Okay? And those goes for doubles too, if you guys doubles.
Some of us.
Some, yeah. Okay. So yeah, if you can, usually what happens in those, you use one of these for the bow and a suction cup one for the stern.
Just a couple observations from when I was coxing last time. When you put those
And
in
your name again was?
Donna.
Donna.
When you put them in the slot, you don't, like I was trying to slide it in and you really just push it down. And then also ours, we didn't have a slot on the stern. We had to use the suction cup one, so that created a little confusion. And then it's good to have a light down there, you know, if it's a cell phone. I don't know what you use, but to be able to plug things in. And
We're
see
building more
that's-
lights down there. That shed like
okay.
blocks some lights,
Okay.
and Dan wants to add a light to the
Okay.
shed, so we get some of our light back on the dock.
Oh, use that. Perfect. Because we didn't have the caps when I went down, so they weren't on. So there you go. It's like everything was gone.
Okay. She mentioned one magical word, cell phone. Do not take your cell phones.
Okay.
Okay, there's absolutely no reason. This happens to be a case called life proof. It is waterproof. It does not float. Okay, you can buy a floaty jacket. I actually have one for it. I had the bad fortune of coxing a race called Southwest with a fort, a bunch of novices at the dock. I don't know what they did. And I had because there's a couple programs you can buy it. I had it, and they flipped us. Okay, right at the dock. So that's embarrassing. I had my phone with me, okay, but I just happened to have it in my hand, and so I went over and I went under and thought, this is pretty stupid, okay, I'm going to hold on to this. It was waterproof, I didn't really care that, but you know, if I drop it, it's gone. So do not take your cell phone. I've been in races where somebody has taken it, and you get a call. It's pretty tough in the middle of a headwind. Ring, ring, ring. Tell them you're busy. Okay? There's no reason to bring this. None. Zero. Okay? If you have to see, you know, in the coxswain, use this light. You don't need to see real bright, but that'll help show you where to slide it in, and then put it in. Okay?
Last question. Well, Shannon.
Well, it's a bit stupid, I know, but
No, no stupid question.
we should take this only when it's not really light. The day.
No. You know, let the coach tell you.
Yeah, I'll just ask me and I'll tell you.
Between now and, I mean, unless.
We've got a few weeks of probably not needing them,
Yeah.
and then we probably will.
Yeah.
Never on Saturdays, except for like the darkest days of the year.
Yeah, and because you start a little bit later on Saturday, but the other thing besides, I mean, the point is, you're not going to see anything with these lights, okay? They're not spotlight for you. It's so everybody else sees you, okay? So, especially in small boats, even if it's light, obviously, don't worry about it. But if it's just kind of dawning, it's your safety, okay? Because you get hit in a boat, it's not very good, okay? So if you feel more comfortable, put one on. I mean, it doesn't cost you anything, okay? Put it on, and it helps, especially in blind boats, singles, doubles. Put it on, okay? Not a big deal.
And it helps the ferry driver see you at home.
All right, we'll move on to the ferry.
Let's not scare him, Mark. Let's not scare him, okay?
Never happened to me, right?
Try that.
Hi, I'm Shannon. So just to confirm, we take the lights down and you put the lights on once the boat is in the water, and before it comes out of the water, you take the lights off.
Well, okay, so do you guys walk it right down, or do you flip it over and do your?
It depends on the dock traffic at this point.
Okay, so if you're just picking it up and walking it down, then obviously you put it in there, okay? If you roll it over and you're gonna fix your foot stretchers, put them on there. Okay, and again, if you're in the back and it's on, and you can't see, put your Cox box in, yank it off, put it on, take a look at it, and then put it back on. These are real easy to do. The suction cups are a little harder, because, and again, you have to spit in it and just.
And so if you bring it down, like what happened with Donna, you need a section one, you just put that one down at the dock and grab a section
Yeah.
one and then
Yes,
switch
yes,
it out?
yeah.
Okay.
Just remember to bring it up, and don't leave stuff down on the dock. Speaking of the dock, I've seen a couple people, there's an etiquette to the dock. We'll talk about how your command's getting down, but there's an etiquette to the dock. When you're going to launch, you go as far up to that end as possible if you're the first boat, and then people come in behind you. When you land, walk your boat down as far as possible. Do not leave your boat at this end and get out. If you want to incur the ire of the upper level teams, do that. And I guarantee you, you're going to be screaming at you, okay? So land, walk it down, that's the etiquette. Get out, get the boats off fast. Especially on Saturdays, there's a ton of boats. If you're the first one in, get them out of there. Up and out, boom, gone. Get that boat off the dock. Okay, so let's talk about, any questions about lights and equipment and all that stuff? Okay, moving on. Commands. Commands are generally broken down into 3 parts. 1, you're going to tell the people what you want them to do. Keep it short. The second part is ready, and the third part is an execution part of the command. Okay, so going down, and again, the bows always face this way. I think all your boats are set. Yeah, okay. You don't have to spin. So you roll it out, and the job of the coxswain is to make sure everybody's set before they give the commands. And so you're going to stand at the stern so you can see everybody. I suggest you stand off a little bit to the side so you can see down. The first command is going to be hands on. I'm telling you what to do. Make sure everybody's ready to go. What do you do? 4 at one end, 4 at the other end?
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that they're kind of, you don't want to have Mike there with whatever your name is there, because
I mean, I think because we've had Mike, we've started to figure out, like, we do need to have some height arrangements, even if that's not the seating arrangement.
Exactly. Don't worry about where your seat is for the boat, but try to match up relatively, even, because otherwise somebody's just going to dump it down on the other side, and she's vertically challenged. I guarantee you're going to knock it down. She'll be even shorter when she gets to the dock. Okay, so kind of arrange it so that it's roughly the same, so that everybody can carry it at the same height. So, first part of the command, I'm going to tell you what to do. Hands on. Make sure everybody's ready, squatted down. And I'm going to say, ready. If somebody's not ready, yell, hey, I'm not ready. So the coxswain can hear you. Ready. And then I'm going to use one word, lift. And everybody executes at the same time. Okay, 3 parts to it. I'm going to tell you what to do. I'm going to make sure you're ready. And then I'm going to tell you to execute. Walk it down. Your job is to look on both sides, make sure there's no bicycles coming. We're polite here. We let bicycle traffic go by. People are walking, assuming that they're close, stop, let them go by. Again, we're not going to try to jam in front of people. If somebody's 200 yards off, yeah, you can go. But be aware of people on that path, because bicyclists come very fast. Okay, they will not stop for you. Okay, they're very
entitled.
That wasn't quite the word I was going to use. We're trying to be polite here. Yes. Okay. So again, those of you who are on the front of the boat walking on, again, look. Everybody's in this together. Sometimes the coxswain's looking that way, then see him coming this way. Just say, bike on the right, bike on the right. But you have to talk up. It's okay to yell around here. No, there are no residences around here. Going down on the dock, coming into the winter, it's going to get slippery. Be very careful what you wear. These are Keens. These will work. We used to have what was this? Those
Crocs.
Crocs, yeah, we had an infestation of Crocs. 2 people fell, broke their wrists. Okay, do not use them, throw them out, get rid of them. Be careful on the dock, that's why those slats are there. There's gonna be some mornings where there's ice on the dock. Take it slow, okay, take it slow. If you're in the bow leading, just slow it down. Just slow it down, coxswain, tell them to go slow, little baby steps. As you first step off the dock, very slippery, very slippery. So be careful, okay? When you come out onto the dock, you'll see some metal plates where the docks are put together. Try to avoid stopping on that if it's slippery. Those just, boom, I don't care what you're wearing, you're gonna slide, so be very careful. As you come up, the coxswain will say, okay, way enough, when you get to the end, you don't want the bow people walking off into the water. Wherever you stop, the command is over to the edge. Get over to the edge. And you can walk over, just tap your foot, find out where the edge is, do not keep going and go. Okay? So the people who are on the outside towards the water, again, they're gonna go tap your foot, stop right there, okay? So you're carrying down your shoulders, okay? Over the edge. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna tell you what to do. Up over heads, that's what to do. Go good. Ready, roll it in. Do not just throw it up. Wait till the coxswain tells you to roll it in, okay? Do it together. And you turn it over, make sure as you go down, use your legs. Do not bend over on your back, the weight hurts back. Okay? Up over heads, ready, roll it in. I'm gonna learn your name.
Donna, sorry.
I know. I had 3 times I'm good.
Okay. So when you're bringing the boat down, the coxswain goes first.
No.
No. Okay.
On the way back, because again, that coxswain gets the last line of defense to make sure we don't hit anything, so they're at the back.
Okay.
Going down, coxswain's at the back, looking to both sides, making sure the boat, there's no traffic in front. If there are other boats on it, make sure that you listen to the coxswain. You may have to stop on the ramp up, stop on the ramp down. Be courteous. Those boats, if you know what you're doing, can fit 2 on a dock. Don't do it. Okay. Again, the other boats, the upper level teams will get mad at you if you get in there.
So does the microphone work if it's not plugged into the?
No.
But okay, I didn't know.
That's why you have to
Yeah.
check.
Okay.
Okay. And don't. If you want to be known as a rookie, put this on as you walk down with a doofus. Okay. So we don't have doofuses here at Emma. So make sure you don't do that. Okay. Carry it. Okay. When you get down and they put the boat in the water, fast off the dock. Sandy is real big for Sandy. Usually the upper level teams will have one side always gets the 2 oars.
Ports to oars, starboards to oar locks.
Okay, so he's already done that. Okay, fast. Know the set of oars you're using. We use double.
Doubles and quadruple green.
Okay, so make sure you know which oars your boat is going to use. Port oars, boom. Get them in there for the 2 seats that your seat and the seat in front of you. Get them in. For novices, make sure all the oars are, and as I say this as a coxswain, do not get in the boat until your oars are out and everybody's sitting down. Again, there's nothing worse than more embarrassment than get in, the boat rolls, and you're in. And they're not going to fish you out, okay? You got to get out yourself with all this floating. Pretty tough. When everybody's lined up, ready to go, you can either take a count off from bow 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, oars out. Make sure the oars are out. Everybody in, have a seat. When they're in, then you can get in. Your stuff should all be plugged in. Have a seat, okay? Lean away from the dock. Commands are lean away, so get the rigger off the dock. I always say shove in 2. 1, 2, my phrase is shove it. Push off. If the tide is running in, that boat is actually going to move forward. That's why I say be very careful. Those who are on starboard, pull yours in a little bit, push off.
I usually say 1 and 3 or the bow starboard's fend.
Yeah, push off. In the dark, you're gonna wanna get away, you usually have your bottom 3 row to push you away from the dock, point out. Go, I always use just 4, about 4, take me out about 5 or 6 strokes. You guys are gonna go out, right?
Well, can I say like one note about leaving the dock?
Cool.
So often what we do, come on, satellite. Well, there we go. So often what we do is when we leave the dock, we shove off, and because when we shove, the boat starts to point down here towards the houses a little bit, we just kind of row it across the creek a little bit. After you shove off and row a few strokes past the dock, if we're gonna stay in the creek, make sure that you turn your bow back towards Drake's Landing parking lot. If we're gonna go out towards the bridges, then we turn around, as Ron's about to talk about.
Okay, yeah. So just remember how many other boats are behind you. Just this whole basin here, move down a little bit. Don't. You're not good enough to be able to just come off the dock, spin and go. Okay. So come down here. You also need to be aware of what the tide is doing. And one of the things I do is when I get down there, I spit in the water and see which way it's going. Okay. If the tide is coming in, it will move you. Okay. If the tide is going out, remember it's going to push you back. Okay. So come away so that the other boats can launch, and obviously Felix is going to tell you whether you can stay in the creek. Or
Yeah. I would just generally say, because this is the first time you mentioned it, awareness of conditions, wind and water, is one of your most important jobs as coxswains, and that by extension my most important job as a coach to inform you, but then it becomes on you to remember it. If I say the tide is rising, you should know what that means as far as direction. If it's going to be a fast wind, fast water day, we might not row, but if it's just fast one, we probably will row.
we'll talk about wind, because that can really affect you. But the reason I mentioned the tide, besides what Felix was talking about, is the tide swirls. You can't see it under the highway and all that stuff. It swirls. It will move your boat, and you don't even realize it. All of a sudden, you look up and you're headed for a pillar. Okay, but we'll talk about it when it comes to landing. Make sure that when you're off here, if the tide comes in, if you know anything about hydraulics, it's going to start to push you over here. Okay. If the tide's going out, it's going to start to push you that, okay? And it accelerates as it comes through those bridges. But anyway, if you're going down the creek, you stay on the right-hand side. And as a coxswain, you can read off the bank. You can see, obviously, where the bank is. There's enough light all the way down. And everything is to the right. Stay to the right. Stay to the right going down. Stay to the right coming back. If there are 2 boats, he probably will not put you side by side, but one behind the other. This is where the lights come in. As a coxswain, you've got to be looking past your boat for that light in front of you. Do not run up into them, okay? It'll ruin your day and it'll ruin the boat. So be very much aware. In the dark, you're not allowed to talk before 7 o'clock.
Weekdays, 8 a.m., weekends.
Yeah, okay. So the odds are you have to zip it, let him do whatever whispering he's talking about. Commands from the coach, very important. When the coach is going to give you commands on what he wants done, he's not talking to the boat, he's talking to the coxswain, okay? So you've got to be listening. When he gives you, I want you to take bow 4 for 20 strokes, whatever, put your hand up, okay? Just put your hand up, that's an acknowledgement to him that you've heard and you've understood it. If you didn't, just do something like this, like, I don't know what you're talking about. You don't need to talk, but just let him know, I didn't get it. If you do get it, just throw your hand up, put it down, he sees it, he knows you know what he's asking you to do. Obviously the boat hears it, but you are listening to the coxswain. You are not listening to the coach, unless he tells exactly, I'm taking over the boat and I'm going to tell him what to do. I don't know if he ever does that.
Definitely do.
But as you get more experience, he's going to be,
Yeah.
he's going to be working with the coxswain, okay? He'll say, all right, I want you guys to go, 500 meters, blah, blah, blah. He's telling the coxswain then takes over, hand up, I understand it. Coxswain's going to take over and give the commands to start, okay? We'll talk about that in a minute. So again, don't start rowing because he says, all right, get ready to go. Let the coxswain run the show, okay? Coxswain runs the boat unless he says otherwise. Okay, very important. Now, getting ready to go, again, I always use, again, 3 commands, 3 parts of it. Ready all, telling you what to do, to be ready, row. It's real simple. Okay, you guys generally start from the release or?
I'm going to say we do both. I prefer more often at the catch.
So if he's differentiating that, then, the coxswain's command might be, okay, everybody at the catch, ready, row. So again, listening to the coxswain, you don't have to scream real loud in these things. If the speakers are working, they can hear you, just regular voice, maybe a little bit louder than regular voice. Again, we'll talk about where you can talk and not in a moment here. But, make sure if for some reason going out or something you can't hear the coxswain, throw your hand up and say, hey, we can't hear any Bob, okay? No excuses unless the speaker's out not to be able to hear the coxswain, okay? So, coxswain will tell you ready at the catch or ready at the release, all 8, about 4, middle 4, whatever, okay? So listen, and then whatever coxswain says ready, and then he'll say row, or she'll say row. Command to stop, way enough. Yeah, way enough. While you are coxing, understand that the boat is at its most steady. That's it. It is steadiest when the blades are in the water. Okay, so you got to learn to time it. So when they're on the recovery, if you tell them to do something, all right, way enough, people are going to run into each other's back. So